We've got workflows built into the cookbook for information request resolution, for definition approval, for the data requests, either new or change specification approval we're dealing with now, what we call a run request, collection or policy approval, quality rule. So there's workflow, like a bunch of different types of workflows that you can customize for pulling in governance or appropriate stakeholders to review based on action that you're taking in the cookbook. So, and it's sort of automatic and determines who needs to do that based on the rules that you've set up. It's really not all that hard to do, and you can do very, very complicated workflows if you want, but I still like to call people back to the recommendation to keep it simple. So we deliver out of the box some very straightforward and practical, simple workflows. And although our implementation people are great and they love to help people with what they want, I would encourage you to try to keep it simple to help people facilitate reporting, right? You can see sort of where things are in the workflow and who's involved in the header of any item in the system. Again, this is sort of how you can customize your workflow. And then you get these notifications either by email, or you can go look at your sort of a dashboard of what you have to do, or you can get a digest email of any actions that you need to take, depending on how urgent your role is. There's a queue that if there is sort of a steward or someone who's either not available or sort of slacking on the job, typically maybe you're like a data governance manager or a lead could go in and sort of look at the overall queue and maybe either unstick it or assign it to someone else or know who to sort of contact to keep things moving. So you can get if you sort of speed up the time to responsiveness, it helps in that just in time. Like just in time where nobody ever responds to a question is not very in time, in my opinion. So you get the notifications for anything in the workflow. You get a notification on change impact analysis. So I mentioned that you've got that the cookbook knows that I've got items from a data system that were used in a definition, and those definitions are used in a report. If one of those things changes, it produces an impact analysis and a notification for someone to look at and review and say, is this actually impactful? Does it change this thing? And if so, then it sort of goes up to the next point and says, oh, someone needs to review that, and that may have impact on something else, and it notifies that as it changes. You can also sort of watch anything. Like if you want to put a watch, or like if there's a report that's really important to you, you can watch it and see for changes. You can also sort of pull in anybody else that you want to collaborate with a question. So you can use it not just to talk about people in the workflow, but if you've got a subject matter expert you want to pull in, you can do that. And then I talked about the community area.